Deion Sanders, the effect that he has had not only on Colorado, but on college football as a whole, needs to be talked about. Because the prime effect is in full force right now. Because I was on Instagram a few days ago, and I was just scrolling through a couple of Colorado posts that they had put up on the socials. And I was just reading through the comments. And I was really surprised at the amount of people who were saying that, yeah, I've never watched college football before. When Deion Sanders got hired by Colorado to be their head coach, that's when I started actually paying attention to college football. You have people like my grandparents who never really watched college football that much that are tuning in to every game just because they want to see Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders has brought a different audience to college football. And that is an audience that college football has normally struggled to get, which is the diehard NFL audience or just the casual football fan. You see, the effect that Deion Sanders has had on college football is the same effect that Taylor Swift has somewhat had on the NFL. Anytime the NFL posts that Taylor Swift is going to be at a game, they always get a massive ratings boost. That's why they show her so much on camera, because when she's on the screen, there's like 3-4 million people who may not care that much about football, but they're only tuned in because they want to see Taylor Swift's face on the screen. And that is the same impact that Deion Sanders has had on college football. When you look at the top 5, top 10 highest viewed games, Colorado is always on that list. As a matter of fact, Colorado is the sole reason why the Big 12's ratings have improved, because most people don't really tune in to a lot of the Big 12 games. The most watched Big 12 matchup, I believe, was BYU versus Utah. That and Kansas State versus Kansas. That was it. So other than those two games, Deion Sanders and Colorado have been still in the show. And ever since Deion Sanders has come into college football, people just can't stop talking about Colorado. This is a program that's been irrelevant in the landscape of college ball for a few decades now. They haven't really been making noise until Deion got there, and prior, they weren't really that good until like the 90s or something like that. And with Deion Sanders here, he has made it where going to a Colorado game is a spectacle. You got celebrities, you got rappers, actors, boxers, all kinds of famous people at these Colorado games. You got all kinds of people tweeting out about Colorado football, rooting for Deion and this team to succeed. Like, the effect that Deion Sanders has had on Colorado and college football as a whole doesn't get talked about enough. And I think that we need to be more appreciative for what Deion Sanders has done for the game of college ball, because he's brought a different audience to this sport that college football has struggled to capture. And that is, the casual fan. The casual football fan, believe it or not, doesn't really watch college football that much. Most people that watch football watch the NFL more than they do college ball. But what Deion Sanders has done, he's kind of done somewhat of a crossover between the two, where the people that grew up watching Deion Sanders play in the NFL, they may have never watched college football before, but they're watching it because they want to see Deion Sanders on the sidelines. Not only has Deion Sanders increased the popularity of college football, but he also has increased Colorado, their enrollment rates at their university, their viewership, the sponsorship deals that he's brought in has racked up over $113 million. He's done a lot, not just for the sport, for Colorado football, but for that community as well. And the prime effect needs to get talked about a lot more than what it does, because Deion Sanders, he's a disruptor. He is somebody who, when he walks into a room, he's able to win in a way that's uncomfortable for a lot of people's liking. A lot of people were against the way that Deion Sanders went about reconstructing and rebuilding this program. They were saying, oh, you can't win with a team mostly full of transfers. You're going to have nothing but a bunch of mercenaries. Yes, you can. If you're Deion Sanders, the reason why Deion Sanders can do it and a lot of other coaches can't do it is because he's Deion Sanders. He's untraditional in his approach as a head coach because the way he's running Colorado is a way that nobody else can run this university. Nobody else can run the football program the way Deion Sanders can because he has that name recognition. He's Coach Prime. When he talks to recruits, when he walks into their living rooms, everybody knows who he is. Most of these high school recruits' parents, their grandma, their grandparents, their moms, their aunties, they don't know who Kirby Smart is. They might have heard of him, but they don't know who he is. Everybody knows who Deion Sanders is. Your grandma's probably like, hey, I remember you with that bald head. You know, like Deion Sanders, it's just, every time I watch a Colorado game, I just always tell myself, damn, Deion Sanders is really on the sidelines coaching college football at the highest level. I never can believe it because it's kind of like pop culture has now started to dribble down into college football in a sense because Deion Sanders, with how popular he is, his popularity exceeds college football itself in a sense to the point where he's so big that he just brings his own crowd of people that watch these games only because they care about Deion and they're invested in his cause. You got people that's donating to Colorado that never have donated before because of Deion Sanders. This is the prime effect, people. As much as a lot of people like to hate on Deion and shit on him, you got to show more appreciation for what he's done for the sport of college football. He kind of has already taken a sport that has grown in popularity tremendously over the last couple of years and kind of times two its growth with him now coaching at Colorado. That's the prime effect. Everybody likes to hate on him, and that's cool. If you don't like Deion for your own weird personal reasons, that's on you. But let's not try to, understate the impact that he not only has had on Colorado and the Boulder community, but college football as a whole. A lot of people that haven't watched college football are tuning in waves because of Deion Sanders. I saw one comment on a Colorado Post that said, I live in Africa. I didn't get into college football until Deion started coaching at Colorado. You got people on the other side of the pond who are watching Colorado games who are now getting invested into college football. If you got people from different countries watching Colorado play because of Deion Sanders, then it has kind of expanded, college football's audience. It has expanded its reach with the hiring of Deion Sanders. This is a global name. Deion Sanders could walk into London, Europe, Africa, and everybody know who he is. He's that kind of person where his popularity has transcended the popularity of college football itself to the point where every time you watch Colorado on TV, they're bringing a new audience to college football.